We've got Rosana with us in Mexico. We've got Andrea with us in the States, and I'm over in Europe right now. So, all right, we'll go ahead and get
Wow.
started. So I'm Ashley. I'm the founder of Traverse Journeys, and we have Rosana, our local host in Mexico. She'll be introducing herself in just a minute. And you may be familiar with Traverse Journeys, but we want to just tell you a little bit about ourselves. So we do group trips and self-guided trips in about 25 countries, and our motto is People, Planet, Purpose. So what we mean by that is people-to-people experiences, getting to know local communities, really meaningful interactions, taking care of the planet. We visit some beautiful places, lots and lots of nature in our itineraries, and we really want to take care of that. Um, and then for purpose, so like really intentional travel, keeping money in the local economies, learning about what's important to all of the different communities that we visit, and having a transformative community or transformative experience on both sides. So today, as we talk about Mexico, just give you a little bit of a snapshot here. So as you know, it's our southern neighbor from the US, and the area that we travel in for this particular retreat is in the state of Guanajuato. The capital is Mexico City, quite a large capital, quite a large country. As you know, Spanish is the main language in Mexico. However, there are many, many indigenous languages within the country, primarily Roman Catholic, and the currency used is the Mexican peso. When we talk about community and values, cultural values, it's really important to community is relationships. We call this in cultural studies, we talk about collectivist culture, meaning like we in the group. Traditions and religion are very important. Like you can see this photo here of Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, and something we call the Mañana syndrome. So like taking our time, like time is flexible because relationships are so important. Rosana, do you want to tell us a little bit about your favorite parts of Mexican culture? Just give us a little snapshot.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Well, it's morning in Mexico. I don't know where everybody is. Yes, one of my favorite traditions is practically this Day of the Dead because it brings together a lot of the memories of our ancestors. Food, family together, celebration of Day of the Dead is not only sadness, but is how we remember our dead by celebrating. And for this event, we set up a little offering where we set up the food for them. We can sing, we can gather the family together and visit the cemeteries. And there is also a big parade in town, and people dress up as, making kind of not fun, but just happy to bring the soul, your family down here to earth to party with you. I think that's a lot of fun. Another of them is also because it's a religious town, it's a Catholic town. Also, Easter is really beautiful. There is a lot of praise, and they make these palm figures that you set on your doors for blessing of your home the whole year. That's another really, and we tradition this quarantine. So we fast on meat and things like that. So that's what I can tell you.
Thank you so much, Rosana. There's so much culture to be experienced in all the different parts of Mexico, but San Miguel is really special. So one of the things that we learned throughout the retreat and learned from talking with Rosana There's so much influence from ancient history all throughout Mexico, but you see it also in the area that you'll be visiting. This is kind of a nice little snapshot of that. Like more than 10,000 years of history, ancient civilizations, the Olmecs, the Mayan, the Toltec, the Aztec. As you probably know from history class, like 16th century, there was a Spanish conquisition. And this area of Mexico in San Miguel and Guanajuato is very important because there was the Grito de Dolores, which was like the cry for freedom in 1821. And so, or 1810, and independence followed. So you'll see a lot of this history in San Miguel and the surrounding towns, and a lot of the architecture as well. So it's a really cool spot to visit, even just for that reason. So you can kind of see here on the map where our retreat takes place is in San Miguel de Allende, which is in the state of Guanajuato. There's also the city of Guanajuato, which we have a day trip to. And then there's an optional excursion to Dolores Hidalgo, which is another town that's very famous in this area. And the airport that you fly into is Leon. The abbreviation is BJX, so that you know. Another important piece about Guanajuato City is the famous muralist Diego Rivera was born there. So it's a really cool excursion to see that as well. And there's a little museum that you can visit. So here are just some little pictures from San Miguel de Allende. It's very known as a very colorful town. You can see during like the festivals, it's like people are dressing up, which is super, super fun. A lot of the favorites are just like meandering around town, getting snacks at the local market, checking out the street murals. There's lots of art galleries, paintings, sculptures, there's cafes, and there's the parroquia, which is, you saw in the previous picture, some like really incredible, very old architecture. So on our retreats, we get an active retreat style. So you definitely get your rest and downtime and your yoga. You know, some people are like, can I come and not do the yoga? Which you certainly could. Although it's a great way to experience also and get some like nice zen in your day-to-day there. This particular itinerary also has a culinary focus because the food in Mexico is phenomenal, as you probably know. And so we visit a market and we get hands-on, we do a cooking class, tamale making. In just a minute, Rosana will tell you about how we learn about sustainable agriculture in the region. We visit the farm. And then there are some optional add-ons going to Guanajuato and adding on a winery. So Rosana, can you tell us a little bit about Casa Angelitos, our accommodations, and where we stay?
Well, Casa Angelitos is, as you see in the picture, that's our home. That's where we live. We started building this home with the intention of sharing with people. At first, it was going to be our house, but it was getting too big. So we turned it into a bed and breakfast. And we started building this home in 28 years ago, little beds at a time. And so my husband and my daughter and I live in this house. And it's 12 rooms, and they're made out of natural stone and adobe, like most of the construction is. That's what we wanted. And we wanted an ambience that you will feel at home, like don't feel afraid to put your feet on the tables or lay down on the couches, gather in the living room. That's the type of ambience we wanted, like to feel at home, not like a regular hotel. And so, yeah, this is the house. And also I work in a project called Via Organica, which Traverse Journeys have been helping every year. They're so kind to bring people here, and we appreciate it because it's a project that pretends to, well, it's doing education on organic farming and regenerative agriculture, because as you know, our soils are being devastated by putting so much pesticides in them. And so we grab these little, few acres in the middle of, San Miguel, somewhere outside. In this farm, we're doing practices where people we learn how to make compost, reforestation, reproduction of native trees. And we also teach about food, about the importance of eating healthy food, because in the soil, all the line of your food comes from the soil because it has memory there. It comes to you on your plate when you understand how food is grown. It's not only what you buy anywhere. You have to learn where your food comes from. And we offer the classes also. But also by doing good agriculture, you invite all the insects to come. As many, we lose a lot of harvest, but we plant for insects and for ourselves. So we don't use any pesticides. We do our own fertilizers, in a natural way. And in Via Organica, we also teach cooking classes. One of them is the tamal class. We also teach mole, salsas, guacamoles, all kinds of Mexican food using the ingredients, the most that we have in our farm or from small farmers around us. The importance of the project is also to understand that if we create this local economy, we buy our things around us, then we create these relationships with, with our community. We get integrated, and that's why we've been doing this for 15 years already. And thanks to people like you that get interested on taking your time to come and see what's happening in Via Organica. We also are part of Organic Consumers Association in the United States. We work together, and Regeneration International. That's what we're doing there.
Amazing.
So I'm
Thank
a
you.
co-founder of the Via Organica.
Yeah, and I have some pictures that I'm going to show
Yeah.
everyone of Via Organica, and all of the food that you eat for our breakfast and our welcome dinner and our farewell dinner, they're all based on agriculture from the local area. So as you can see here, like our retreats and our workshops, we have like a beautiful terrace area. And here's Rosana directing some of our like ceremonies. What's really beautiful is we don't treat it as just like a yoga retreat unconnected to the land. We also connect it to your experience in Mexico and spiritual traditions there, and like the flora and fauna that surrounds that. This particular one was around Dia de los Muertos, so it was a really special retreat. Rosana really brings a lot of magic to that piece. And we also have our retreat leaders. And so I can see Gigi, you joined us. I'm so glad. I'm going to give Gigi just a second to introduce herself. She is leading, she's led multiple Traverse retreats before and is leading our March one. Gigi, do you want to say hi?
Yes, hi, good morning, everyone. Apologies for running a bit behind this morning. Really happy to be here and excited for this trip coming up in March. As Ashley mentioned, I have partnered with Traverse on several yoga retreats now. We've been to Nicaragua, Morocco, and Nepal together. So this is our fourth collaboration. I am super excited to meet everyone and to lead daily yoga and meditation practices. So happy to be here.
Awesome. And we also have Lee with us. Lee, I don't know if your camera's on, but would love for you to pop in and say hello. Lee is leading our October retreat, and she also led a Pilates retreat last year. Lee, are you able to?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
There you are.
Good morning, good morning from Austin, Texas. I know it's not morning everywhere, but yes, I was listening to all of this that Rosana was sharing and was bringing up so many wonderful memories of my first retreat with Traverse, going to San Miguel, staying at their beautiful B&B and all the wonderful experiences we had. And I'm looking forward to, this has gotten me very excited about the next one in October. So it's a wonderful experience. Thank you, Rosana and Ashley and her team for all that you do to make this experience so magical.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to guide you on a little bit more of what you'll experience. So, of course, like being in Mexico, food is such a big deal. Like Rosana was talking about the farm visit that we do. So you're going to see tons of seasonal and local fare. You'll probably learn about vegetables or chiles you've never even heard of. There are a lot of corn or maize-based dishes using like fresh masa made in the traditional style. Very, very easy for us to do vegan and vegetarian. There's all kinds of like lentil or chickpea type protein sources. Pescatarian is available for those of you that are gluten-free. There are so many corn-based dishes. There's also amaranth, potatoes. So lots of options for all kinds of needs. And we eat together. It's a really like special experience. And then here's what Rosana was talking about with the local agriculture. So at Via Organica, we get to learn about all these different crops and how they've historically been important, how they're used today in food and in cooking, but also like integrating the local community and youth to preserve these agricultural processes. Talk about seed saving and the kind of ecological and medicinal importance, and like regionally how the impact has had on the economy in the local area. So it's a really special visit that is integrated into this. And we also get to do a tamale making class and a cooking class during our time. So it's very hands-on. You get to learn not just like the recipes, but the techniques. You get to enjoy the feast and then take some recipes home, make it for friends. Here's some of the tamale making, which is a super special learning experience, as you can see, like in the traditional way. And it's such a group experience too. It really like harkens to that collectivist culture that I was talking about, like people doing things together as like a we experience. It's a very social experience as well. So after we've done all of this throughout, like had our wonderful retreat leaders who are leading the either yoga or Pilates and meditation practice part of it, doing all of these excursions in San Miguel, Guanajuato. We also get to go to some swimming caves, which is kind of a fun grand finale for the week. And then during the itinerary, we used to have this as a like always part of the itinerary. Now we've left the day optional, where you can spend a day in Guanajuato. It's where the Diego Rivera Museum is, a famous artist. You get to see city views, eat in the market. There's a very famous museum that's a mummy museum that's quite interesting. It's a really pretty and different city, like it contrasts from San Miguel and its kind of architecture and style. But some people like to just have a relaxing day back in San Miguel, so it's up to you. It's about an hour and a half away. We also have an option of a half-day wine tour. So you know, you might not think of Mexico as your top spot for like where wine comes from, but like there's some really incredible organic wineries in the area. So we go to one for like a half day. You get to learn about the property, taste a couple of wines, have a local food and cheese board. And this is like, you can see it when you register if you want to add that on. If you want to add an entire extra day to the trip, at the end, you can go to Dolores Hidalgo, which is the one that I talked about earlier in 1821 or 1810, the Grito, the call for independence. So they're really famous for their ice cream. Got to have ice cream while you're there. Get to visit a couple more vineyards. And our host for that is a local American couple. They have a background in the wine industry. They've made Mexico their home. They love showing you these gems. So those are some options that you get to do while you're there. So just some like little tips. Rosana, do you want to give us a little bit of tips on weather in March and in October, kind of seasonal, what to wear, packing tips?
Well, the weather here is like, is very, for March, it's starting to get warm. You don't need any more sweaters or just a light cotton little sweater maybe for at night. And during the day, it gets warmer, so you can use shorts or light dresses, comfortable shoes. It's important because we have cobblestones in some areas. Most areas downtown is the flat, so you can walk everywhere. It's very easy to get around. And yeah, some tank tops so you get a little brown like me or something, little some brown. That I think year round it's just a light sweater. In October you don't need a heavy jacket. October just a very light wear. So that's important. Also, we have the Museum of Allende, one of the heroes of independence. It's a beautiful museum that everybody should see when they're here. It's very small, but it has a lot of importance, pre-Hispanic pieces, and also it tells you what indigenous people live here. So it gives you an overall information on this area of Mexico.
Awesome. Thank you. You know, one of the really great things about like we're staying with Rosana on this retreat is like she's our local host and always has like great tips for us. So another example is there's a botanical garden really close by that you can walk over to. So if you're really into plants and learning about local
yeah,
native
it's right.
plants, yeah, that's a really, really great one to do. So yeah, so
Yeah,
season and weather. It's not too hot, not too cold. Having a couple of layers is really good. We have yoga mats for everyone, so you don't need to bring your own mat unless you are attached to yours and would like to. Money-wise, it is helpful to have cash. There are ATMs where you can exchange, you know, you can get like local currency there. You'll want some cash for like tipping your drivers and like different tips. If you go into town and eat at like a fancier restaurant, you can use a credit card. If you're eating in the market, you'll want to have cash for that. And when you're on site, like Rosana has some really nice wines that they sell for like if you're eating or having something outside of the meals that we serve. So it's good to have some cash on hand. You know, safety wise, like anywhere you want to like remain safe and be aware of where you're going at what time. Generally speaking, San Miguel is quite a safe town, you know, like when it's dark or in the evenings, you know, always have like a walking buddy if you're walking back up because there's like a hill to come back up to to our Casa Angelitos. But generally speaking, quite safe. Any other tips, Rosana, that you'd like to add for people's travels?
well, yeah, it's really close to the markets too. We have a craft markets. There is main streets for art schools like the art institutes and Bellas Artes, beautiful buildings. All the churches. I mean, if people are into looking at architecture, uh, the churches are amazing. We have probably 35 churches or something like almost in every couple blocks. But the markets are really beautiful, and I really recommend the botanical garden. We also have a viewpoint near us where you can see the view of San Miguel. It's called El Mirador. But I can also write you here if you have any questions. So it's also someone available here. And we also have phone numbers and rooms where if you need a question or anything, you can just call our Laura who works here. And she's always in contact by phone or in presence. Sometimes she lives, you know, but she's you connect by phone either with my husband or myself. You will always have someone around. So I think this nice walk coming to the hotel is beautiful because downhill is 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and coming up is like 20 minutes. But you can also take a taxi. The taxis are very safe. They are all green taxis, so it's no problem. You can stop it on the street and we give you a card so you have the address and it takes you directly to our home. I think, yeah. And well, yeah, to come in and explore, have adventures, and and eat some food with friends. It's more beautiful to learn who do you eat with, not what you eat. It's like, the feeding of the soul with friends, beautiful.
Thank you so much, Rosanna. Yeah, you really feel like you're with family when you're there. So I want to say thank you to all of the different people that we've had on trips who have contributed photos for us. So these beautiful photos that you've been seeing from Brian Oliver, Kara Folkerts, Tracy Griffin, and Letty Alvarez. Just a little shout out to them. We are offering some discounts. So if you'd like to join us, we have spots left. So it's getting toward our last minute, last call, but for Gigi's retreat in March, we would love to have you join. We have a little 200 off. And then for Lee's retreat in October, we have a 100 off. So you can find more at this link. I'll send an email follow up. We also have more events coming up. So if you'd like to learn more, you can learn about Costa Rica, Nepal, Brazil, and Cyprus. And then now we have some time for questions. Does anyone have questions? You can pop them into the chat box if you have any. Pull up my chat. Any questions? Or did we hit all of the questions? Gigi, Lee, or Rosanna, if you want to add anything else, you're welcome to. All right. Well, I guess that we'll wrap it up then. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Oh, Rosanna, you're talking. I'll let you say something.
No, well, no, I just want to thank everyone to be able to explore and to not be afraid, and just to have the experiences of the world through traverse journeys. I was looking at your itinerary. It's amazing. I wish I'll be there. It looks really beautiful. All the places you go to. And I appreciate all you guys do for this contribution to each one of the projects. Thank you so much.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. We'll go ahead and sign off now and hope to see you maybe on the trip. Thanks so much.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.